Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We were from Group 1, KMB2. Would like to present a comprehensive analysis of company compliance with MCCG, Malaysian Code of Corporate Governance 2021, of Principle A and B. Our group will compare the 7-Eleven Malaysia Sdn Berhad and also Minus Holding Berhad. Okay, so now this is my group members. Me, Aisyah Razi Muhammad Safian, 1202393. The others was Nur Zulaika, 1202808. While there is Shasha Emira, 1202810. And Anit Farah Akila, with 1202812. Okay, now we will tell you about the content that we will provide to you in this video. First of all, there will be introduction, and second of all, there will be background of 7-Eleven and My News. Thirdly, there was comparison practices between these two both company with MCCG 2021. Fourth, there will be issue arise and the solutions that we will come out to overcome to help this company overcome uh, of the non-player need of the non-compliance of MCCG. And finally, we will give you the conclusion. The convenience store industry in Malaysia has grown significantly due to the need for quick and convenient shopping alternatives, urbanization, and changing consumer lives. These stores offer a wide range of goods, including drinks, snacks, meals, toiletries, home necessities, and basic groceries, making everyday essentials easily accessible. They are typically located in suburban and urban settings, particularly in busy areas near public transportation hubs. The focus is on convenience and value for money. This report examines the compliance of MyNews and 7-Eleven, the two main convenience stores companies in Malaysia, with the Malaysian Code of Corporate Governance (MCCG 2021). The analysis and discussion on the principles of the MCCG 2021 in their annual report will be discussed. A solution and strategy will be proposed to help these companies overcome MCCG non-compliant issues. 7-Eleven, the largest operator of 24-hour convenience stores in Malaysia, has reached a 1,000 store network milestone. The company's headquartered in Kuala Lumpur opened its first shop in 1984 and became the first franchisor in the area in 2009. It operates in various settings, including retail centers, medical facilities, LRT station, gas station, and residential communities. Since 2014, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad (SEM) has been listed on Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad's main market. SEM owns and operates 7-Eleven stores in Malaysia through its subsidiary, 7-Eleven Malaysia Sdn Berhad, and owns Caring Pharmacy Group Berhad, one of the largest retail pharmacy chains in Malaysia. Caring has grown its outlet to 156 by end 2021 with an established presence nationwide. 7-Eleven's corporate social responsibility strategy emphasizes community building and supports underprivileged people through its non-profit organization, 7-Eleven Community Care. Okay, now we will take a look at the MyNews background. MyNews, a Malaysian chain of convenience stores, was founded in December 1996 by Dang Tai Luk and has since grown into the largest network of independently owned retail convenience stores in the country. The company's roots can be traced back to McBite, a small newsstand that opened on December 25, 1996. MyNews Group is involved in various industries, including a 50-50 partnership with WH Smith Travel Limited in 2012 to run WH Smith stores in Malaysia's international airport. In October 2017, MyNews expanded into the fresh food production business, partnering with GK Asia Sdn Berhad and MRA Bakery Sdn Berhad for bakery goods and halal ready-to-eat food. In October 2020, BGF Retail Corporation Limited and MyNews signed a license agreement for the operation of CUCVS shops in Malaysia. By June 2020, MyNews will have around 530 locations, primarily in Peninsular Malaysia City, employing over 2,000 people and serving over 6 million clients monthly.
My name is Nusha Shaimira binti Alias and my matrix number is 1202810. I will explore MCCG Principle A, focusing on board leadership and effectiveness. Our spotlight companies for comparison are MyNews Holdings Berhad and 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad. Let's dive into key practices under board responsibility and board composition. So the first one is practice under 1.4. which is starting with the crucial area of board responsibilities. Let's examine the role of the chairman. MyNews Holdings Berhad takes a departure from recommended practice as the chairman is actively involved in the audit, nomination, and remuneration committees. In contrast, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad aligns with the best practice, ensuring the chairman is not a member of these committees, promoting independence and objectivity. So the second one is board composition under practice 5.2. Moving on to board composition, a pivotal aspect for effective governance, MyNews Holdings Berhad adheres to the guideline, with at least half of the board comprising independent directors. Conversely, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad deviates as the majority of its board does not consist of independent directors. This variance underscores different approach to achieving an optimal balance within the board structure. So the third one is candidate selection process, which is practice 5.6. Now, let's shift our focus to the process of identifying board candidates. MyNews Holdings Berhad departs from the recommended approach, relying on recommendations for director appointments. In contrast, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad aligns with best practices, utilizing independent sources for identifying suitably qualified candidates. This divergence highlights distinct strategies in ensuring a diverse and competent board. So, the last one is Women Directors Representation, which is under Practice 5.9. Finally, let's touch upon the representation of women directors. MyNews Holdings Berhad falls short of meeting the 30% women directors requirement, marking a departure from the guideline. On the other hand, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad aligns with the best practice, boasting a board composition that complies with the 30% women directors recommendation. Continuing our exploration of MCCG, let's now focus on Principle B, which is effective audit and risk management. I will draw comparisons between MyNews Holdings Berhad and 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad, particularly in terms of audit committee composition and the effectiveness of the internal audit function. So the first one is audit committee composition, which is under practice 9.4. Beginning with the compositions of the audit committee, MyNews Holdings Berhad has adopted the recommended practice where the entire audit committee comprised solely of independent directors. In contrast, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad has not adopted this practice as specific details about the audit committee composition are not provided. This discrepancy emphasizes the varying approach each company takes in structuring its audit committee. So the last one is internal audit function effectiveness under practice 11.1. Now, let's shift our focus to the effectiveness of the internal audit function. MyNews Holdings Berhad has outsourced its internal audit function to Crowe Governance Sdn Berhad. Notably, the audit committee and Crowe Governance meet privately, excluding management presence, to ensure independent and effective discussions. On the other hand, 7-Eleven Malaysia Holdings Berhad has outsourced its internal audit function to KPMG, Management and Risk Consulting Sdn Berhad, KPMG MRC. The audit committee here reviews and approves the annual internal audit plan, actively assessing the independence of the internal audit function.
Now, let's move to the next part, which our presentation will delve into a pressing issue that many companies face regarding on non-compliance with MCCG 2021. As we explore this topic, we will unravel the complexities, understand the consequences, and spotlight the vital need for companies to align with these guidelines. First, let's look at the issue arise for 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven does not disclose on a name basis the top 5 senior management's remuneration components. In their corporate governance report, it stated that to maintain confidentiality, the board refrains from disclosing the detailed remuneration on a name basis for the top 5 senior management, as the board believed that revealing such information could potentially place the company at a competitive disadvantage in the industry. According to the MCCG 2021 that have been stated, it is proof that 7-Eleven not comply with the guideline, which is practice 8.2. The board disclosed on a name basis the top 5 senior management's remuneration component, including salary, bonus, benefits, in-kind and other emoluments in bands of RM50,000. So, this may expose the company to the risks related to non-compliance with regulatory requirements or governance code that mandate transparency in executive compensation reporting.
Move on to solution for 7-Eleven, which is aggregate bands for confidentiality. The adoption of aggregate bands ensures stakeholders receive insights into compensation structures. Detailed figures are not disclosed, addressing concerns about revealing proprietary compensation details. The approach acknowledged the need for transparency while respecting the competitive landscape. It is also aims to comply with governance code while safeguarding its competitive standing.
Next, there are 2 issues arise in my news regarding non-compliance in MCCG 2021, which is the first one is the board does not comprise at least 30% women directors. In CG report, it stated that following the appointment of Puan Latifah binti Abdul Latif on June 2022, the board now comprises 2 women directors out of a total of 7 directors, accounting for 28.57% of the entire board. According to the MCCG 2021 that have been stated, it is proof that my news not comply with the guideline, which is practice 5.9. This practice, all boards should comprise at least 30% women directors. So, the lack of gender diversity may result in an imbalanced board, potentially limiting the diversity of perspective, experiences and skill, which can impact decision making and strategic planning.
The first solution for my news is board evaluation and training. It serves as a key tool to assess progress toward achieving gender diversity targets. A systematic evaluation process should focus on diversity and inclusion metrics to identify improvement areas, introduce training programs for existing board members to raise awareness about gender diversity benefits, while addressing unconscious bias through targeted training, and equip directors with skills for fostering an inclusive board culture.
The last one is the board solely rely on recommendations from existing board members, management or major shareholders in identifying candidates for appointment of directors. In 2022, the board composition changed, the nominating committee looking for a new members mainly based on recommendations from existing directors, feeling that this method is good enough and not using independent sources for finding qualified candidates. According to the MCCG 2021 that have been stated, it is proof that my news not comply with the guideline, which practice 5.6. In identifying candidates for appointment of directors, the board does not solely rely on recommendation from existing board members, management or major shareholders. The board need to utilize independent sources to identify suitable qualified candidates. It could affect the board as the board may face challenges in maintaining independence if all recommendations come from internal sources, potentially impacting the effectiveness of oversight and decision making.
The second one is establishing independent nominating committee. It aims to avoid sole reliance on internal recommendation for director appointments, promotes merit-based selection, fostering diversity and reducing conflict of interest. It also enhances transparency, credibility and independence in the director appointment process at My News. As for the conclusion, this research presents a comprehensive picture of the organization operational excellence, adherence to governance requirement, and dedication to effective audit and risk management. The recommended solutions provide a route for continual improvement, ensuring that these businesses fulfill current governance standards while also remaining resilient and viable in the business world.